everything is leading to this, as the Pittsburgh Penguins finally are making their regular hockey season debut against New York Rangers tonight, and there are a ton of lineup changes that have Penguins fans absolutely fired up. And we're back to talk about everything here on Penguins Digest. So, it's finally hockey season, the regular season, mind you. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, they are in New York in Madison Square Garden today to take on the New York Rangers for their season opener. So we're going to be talking about everything that's going on in tonight's game against the New York Rangers. Some debuts, some players I want to highlight that you should be watching if you haven't, been able to pay as much attention as you wanted for the preseason and training camp. Obviously, Crosby, Malkin, Letang, they're all in. The Karlsson, they're all in. The mainstays are in, but there's some new faces, even maybe some old faces that you might not know that much that we're going to get into today. But before that, make sure you guys do, of course, subscribe to the channel. We are currently at 67.5% of viewers who are not subscribed. So if you are in that large portion of viewers who are not subscribed to Pens Digest, hit that subscribe button. It's super easy right down below. Trying to get to 3,000 subscribers hopefully very, very soon. And of course, also, you can join the Digest Media team if you're a fan of, North American sports, especially the Pittsburgh teams, the Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates. There's a link down below in the description. You can even type it in. It's on the screen right there. digestmedia.ca/join us. If you're a super passionate sports fan, you want to do what I do or what all the other Digest Media channels are doing, we have a really fun group here. It's pretty easy. Just hit apply and, we're always checking. So let's get into the video. I've rambled on enough. First things first, let's look at the Pittsburgh Penguins lines going into tonight. This was posted yesterday by Pens Inside Scoop. So obviously, it was also in the video that I recorded yesterday. Rickard Rakell, Sidney Crosby, Ville Koivunen, Anthony Mantha, Evgeni Malkin, Justin Brazeau, Tommy Novak, Ben Kindle, Philip Tomasino, Connor Dewar, Blake Lizotte, and Nola Trotty, Philip Hollander as the extra. Then Patrick Watherspoon, Erik Karlsson, Ryan Shea, Kris Letang, Caleb Jones, Harrison Brunick. Harrison Brunick, I think that's what it said on Hockey Reference. And the extra pair is Connor Clifton and Matt Dumba. Matt Dumba did have a very good camp of preseason from what I saw and also what I read about him, so maybe he could be in the mix tonight. Who really, really knows? Obviously, we won't know until the line rushes come out tonight in practice. But I think one line I did want to discuss a lot, I was reading some comments on social media about that second line, which, is really big. Anthony Mantha is a huge player, so is Evgeni Malkin and Brazeau. But personally, I would mix it up, but I think the Pens are down two wingers in Rutger McGrody and Brian Rust right now, so that just might be how it is. And then Ben Kindle at center is huge. But one thing that's obviously not here is none other than the goalie. And if anybody watched yesterday's video, I did say I thought Artur Shilovs would open the season for the Penguins. I think it just made a lot of sense. The Penguins posted about 3 hours ago. Head coach Dan Muse confirms that Artur Shilovs will be starting in goal tonight in New York. And then we had a quote from Dan Muse where he said, "We looked at a lot of things. We're going to be looking for both guys to be getting in there at the early part of the season. So Tristan will be getting an opportunity for us here early on. For sure, we feel Shilovs had a good camp, and that was a decision we made." And I'm a huge fan of Artur Shilovs. Even if you scroll all the way back on the channel, you can see that I was a huge fan of the trade. I thought it was honestly a steal for the Penguins. They barely paid anything of note for him. He had a super strong season in the AHL last year and put up okay numbers with the Canucks at times. Even if I do pull up his stats here, we can kind of look at that. Obviously, in the playoffs at the bottom, there was the run he had with the Canucks where he played 10 games and 23-24. We had was that 898 save percentage. A little more to be desired in that, but I still think that was his first, NHL action. Looking above there in 22-23, he only really played 5 games in the regular season. He had a 908, which is pretty good, and then an 861, 861. Just not other promising Vancouver numbers, but you have to also think about last year the Vancouver Canucks weren't that good, and also he only played like 4 or 5 games prior to that. So I honestly wouldn't think about that too much. And then Abbotsford, notably last year, with a 908 save percentage in 21 games played, but in the playoffs, he was absolutely unbelievable en route to a Calder Cup in the AHL, where he had a 931 save percentage and a 2.01 goals against average, which was pretty unbelievable. He went 16-7-0, just pretty unbelievable in the playoffs that year. So there's a lot of promise with Shilovs. He's not even that old. I think he was like 24. So the Penguins have a lot of good goalies. Miroshov and Blomqvist are going to be with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins start up the season. don't hate that at all, and I think it's super, super smart as well. So Archer Sheelovs will be your goalie in net tonight. I'm super excited for him, and I think Penguins fans should be as well. And then, obviously, Ben Kindle, who is also making his Penguins debut, he said this, Dan Muse and Ben Kindle just walked to the bench together at Madison Square Garden. All smiles, taking it all in. I think one thing that's also, I think a lot of people are forgetting about, this is Dan Muse's first regular season NHL game as the Penguins head coach as well. So he's also kind of a rookie in that kind of mindset, along with guys like Kindle and Brunick. So there's maybe a bonding moment for them in that sense. So if we also do look at, Ben Kindle said, I think the general message from everybody around the organization and just people reaching out has been just to enjoy it. Don't be nervous. Have fun with it. I mean, you only get to have this opportunity once, so just have fun and enjoy the moment. So I'm sure Ben Kindle and Harrison Brunick will get that rookie lap tonight. You know, that solo rookie lap. They'll get to do it together before all the other Penguins get on the ice. There's going to be a lot of those over the next week or so, so that'll be a lot of fun. And just quickly, a refresher on Ben Kindle's stats, of course. I've showed you guys this 100 times now. 99 points in the WHL, 15 points in 11 playoff games, and I don't know if Ben Kindle is long for the NHL this season. Again, he is only 18 years old and was just drafted. He's super young, 2007 born. That makes me feel old, and I'm born in 2003. So, I think Ben Kindle eventually does make his way back to the WHL. He probably plays at the World Juniors for Team Canada this year, which would make more sense. But I don't think Penguins fans or the Penguins organization would be mad if he's really good and can put up like 30, 40 points at the center. He can get good reps there at third line center because he's eventually, I assume, they want him to be like a second line center. I don't know if he's going to reach that bona fide first line center guy, but this is super promising for him, and I'm super excited and also happy for the guy. I think it's really cool to see someone of this age make it to the league. You know, the Penguins, I think the vibes are good. Last year, to me, I think I got a little depressing, a little stale, but a lot of young guys coming in, a lot of things to look out for. So if I was a Penguins fan, I would be super excited for that. And then, obviously, there was a quote from Harrison Brunick where he said, a lot of excitement, tough falling asleep last night for sure, but yeah, I'm looking forward to today. It's obviously a big moment. So, along with Kindle and Dan Muse, he is also making his rookie debut. And again, I will pull up his stats. In the AHL last year, he had 2 points in 10 games. But I wouldn't pay too much attention to his points. You know, look at that. He's a right shot defenseman, 6'3", 201. The guy's an absolute tank, and I think Penguins fans are going to absolutely love him. And, you know, I think I've already taken a liking to him. And I guess it looks like technically he could go back to Kamloops based on that. I don't know if that'll happen, but all the posts and articles I read about Harrison Brunick said he was the best defenseman at Penguins camp. I mean, you do have to ask how hard guys like Erik Karlsson and Kris Letang were trying in preseason games, but Brunick was showing out, and I'm excited for him as well. So, Kindle, Brunick, and then another guy I didn't want to talk about was obviously Billy Koivunen. That is my guy. So, I'm very high on Billy Koivunen. I think it's going to be really, really good. He's playing on the first line, obviously, with Crosby, with McGrody, and Rust out. Raquel flipped wings. I thought they would do that. It does kind of make sense. Last year, in the NHL with the Penguins, he had 7 points in 7 games, 7 assists. He hasn't scored an NHL goal yet. Maybe that'll happen tonight. That'd be really cool. And then 56 points in 63 NHL games with Wilkes-Barre last year. A super solid player. I like everything about his game. 6 feet. He's not too small. He's not going to get thrown around out there. Always put up numbers no matter where he's been. And I believe he came over in the Jay Gensel trade. I want to say that. But I love this deal for the... love this player for the Penguins, and I think it's going to be very good for a really long time. And we're also the same age, so we have a little bit of a connection. I'm rooting for Billy Koivunen. I think he's going to be a super, super solid NHL player. Maybe he could play for Finland at the Olympics this year, but Finland is going to have a deep forward core. So, and then quickly before we get out of here, just 2 more things I did want to mention. I saw a stat that said it's Kris Letang, Sidney Crosby, and Evgeni Malkin. They're the only trio of teammates that have played... I believe it was, 20 years together, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. Tonight, Sidney Crosby, Evgeni Malkin, and Kris Letang will become the first trio of NHL teammates to play 20 seasons together, which is super, super dope for them. And maybe it'll be the last one, so who really knows what you guys are getting. So maybe it's the last season over. And then quickly, just so you guys kind of have a look on it, these will be the New York Rangers lines. Looks like Igor Shesterkin will be starting. That does kind of make sense. Will Cooley, JT Miller, Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin, Vincent Trocheck, Alexei Lafreniere, Shiri, Laba, Radish, Edstrom, Carrick, Rempe, Gavrikov, Fox, Soucy, Borgen, Vakanainen, Schneider, and then Shesterkin and Quick. So, Guys, let me know in the comments how excited are we for Penguins hockey or just hockey season in general. And of course, we'll be back with all Penguins content. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and peace out. Let's go Pens and let's have a great season, everyone. Goodbye.